مصطفى كل شيء لك يا نوراني الله نوري لك يا حاتم الأنبياء يا شهيدا يا مصطفى كل شيء يا شهيدا الله نور سالي يا حاتم الأنبياء يا شهيدا الله مرسلي يا حي يا
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It is اليوم 18 من محرم 1447 هجري الموافق يوم الاثنين 14 من شهر يوليو 2025. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It is the beautiful background and sounds of our great mothers of the city, who our mothers and our grandmothers loved yani unconditionally. And therefore, when we listen and we feel these melodies, these rhythms, there's only one reward, and that is the presence of your grandmother and your mother and those who you emanate from. That's real because they don't die. It's us that is absent. Nevertheless, mashallah, tabarakallah, we're coming to it's a fasting day in our cycle, in our lifetime, in our lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, people. It's not a what we've come to believe it to be, that we must still transfer into the zone. You live in your ruh, okay? You people live in your ruh. You don't live in your mental capture, as what your adversary had been inculcating in your lives. Um, before anything happens in the lower realm of reality, which is the physical part of our experience, it first has to go through the natural order, and that is above. Everything has to happen above, okay? But because we have no senses that is awoken above, we have to restrain, we have to resort to the dark world. Okay, we have to use our ignorance. We have to become self suicidal. Okay, we have to use the things that cannot give us certainty. Okay, so that is why everything is such a dark age for us at this moment in our lives, because we have no idea what is happening above. Okay, and above is where the new age, the new civilization has been upgraded to. Okay, since the COVID invasion, people, like, which came from above, did not come from below. You guys are just being vaccinated into a new digital fallacy and incarnation. Okay, many of our mothers and our children and our brothers and sisters, they have already parted, they have already departed, people. They don't know where they are going to. Okay, it's just some of us that retained and held the reins, so that we cannot lose the root, the ancestors, where we belong to. Okay, many of our parents, many of our brothers and sisters, they have lost conscious. They have taken the route to an uncommon destination, people. Okay, it's rather important that we mention it to you, because so that you know that the exodus has already occurred since COVID, because it was in this ascension that we could now ascertain who are those who are the survivors, and those who had unfavorably not made it to the stage. Okay, what you are finding now is your presidents, they are following pursue with what they are doing to the nations that did not make it over. Okay, when they give you spells, when they come and visit you in your homes over your screens, because you do not understand the language, the adversary understands their language, because they are spelling you into a police state now, because you have been, the pulse has been moved, so you are iced now. This is a notification that they are coming to take you in. Okay, they're taking in our real mothers, our sisters, sisters, our brothers, they are taking them in. We can't do anything in this regard, people. We can only witness how you are and how they are being put into that state of fear, that they are now bringing in the timelines. They're collapsing timelines since the missile attack on Iran, okay, and the retaliation of the I think it was 49 missiles or 59 missiles onto. It's all spells, okay? It's spells of how it is being exchanged for the ancient civilizations to withstand what is coming, okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, I just read this when I opened that Surah Al-Fath, and I thought it was such an important statement. سيقول المخلفون إذا انطلقتم إلى مغانم لتأخذوها ذروها نتبعكم يريدون أن يبدلوا كلام الله قل لن تتبعونا كذلكم قال الله من قبل فسيقول بل تحسدوننا بل كانوا لا يفقهون إلا قليلا. People, at this stage in your evolution, you need to understand what is your ruh. Please, your ruh has a aql, it has an intellect which is inside of your heart, not inside of your brains. That's your mind, okay? Your mind has to take you to your brains, your aql's brains, your heart's mind, your heart. What is your heart, okay? Your heart is what you feel. Your heart is what speaks to you in a language that you alone knows. That is what we call Arabic, okay? Now, many of you, unfortunately, had not been taught by your parents nor by your community as to who you are, what is your true identity, and therefore you are being rushed through the process of finding a new identity, a more valid identity, because your past identity does no longer serve. It is a false identity. It's a false narrative. It's a false pretense, okay? So what is necessary that it will happen now is that obviously, because your adversary, your governments, your religious bodies, your monetary institutions, none of them knows what is happening above people. They are not getting any feedback because they did not prepare for this. So there's a night and a day. So when you read the allegories of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, okay, what is this now? We have trouble streaming to Facebook. We may have an issue at the end. Okay, maaf guys, I'm just not sure what is that all about, but be that what it may Allah Ta'ala grant is, the intention is pure. When we spell out our forecast, it's important like that the voice, the most important part of your existence is your voice, okay? That is your golden signature, and that is what resonates. If it is pure, if it is resonating from pure foundation, pure roots, then she reaches where she needs to reach, okay? You only leave earth with your voice, with your breath. Your voice is your breath, okay? So if you have not yet attuned and acclaimed the field that you belong to with your original voice, your breath, then you have no place to go to from here, okay? You go back to where you came from, in other words, okay? This is not spiritual, this is the truth, okay? This is truth that you need to understand. You understand how to break through from this dimension and get to the next stage of your evolution. As you all know, because of what happened 6 years ago in Corona, it was manufactured above, okay? There was no mistake. There was no it was just your organizations and your administrations and your scientists and your doctors and your religious authorities who passed the fatwas, okay? They were all part of the migration into the new advent without them knowing. They don't know the makr of Allah. They only think that they are the people that know, but they've actually been programmed to doing something that is self-destructive to themselves, okay? Because people, many of us do not know who we are. in our metaphysical, spiritual, immortal selves. We don't know who we are. We just believing, we gambling here, hoping that we're gonna get to the next stage. But I can guarantee you, many of us didn't make it by now. Okay, we must, the problem that we have is denialism and lying. We lie to ourselves, we lie to our children, our parents lies to us. Okay, and because we say we inna wajadna aba'ana ala ummatin, we found our parents doing this and therefore we just simulating them. But you can't do that since COVID, because COVID came to destroy your homes. It destroyed everything in front of it, every truth, every riba, every house that stood. It had destroyed everything that came in front of it. That was the tsunami that came in your lives. Okay, as above, so below, people. Now, what you as an individual had to understand is that where were you supposed to swim towards? Okay, when the tsunami came, where did you run to? Where did you swim towards? You let almal net gegaan in a lockdown, so you went down. Okay, so once you go down, there's no way up again, people. You had to come out. You had to come and realize that this was an invasion of your natural incarnations and your natural restorations. Okay, that's how the heavens does it, because we all live in a psychology, in our minds. All of us live in our minds. You're not living in your bodies. It's just because your bodies has been so badly violated that you are stuck in a physical vessel which is dead, because your body doesn't go with you. You're always going to go in your mental ascensions when you complete your task and your assignments. Okay, so when you die and you're still dead, then you must know that you have already been terminated into an unconscious state, which Allah terms Jahannam. Okay, we have to do what we are exercising now because of the new children, the intelligent children, that we have to tell them that your forefathers, your parents, your grandparents, they lost the plot. They gave you riba as a alternative to worship in a God which you have to trust. Okay, we have to tell your grandchildren the truth. We cannot withstand it because you gave them the plastic cards. You gave them the plastic key to fabricate gods, to fabricate life. Okay, to plasticize the experience. Okay, now it's okay if you do it to yourself, because you can only damage yourself. But if you do it to those who you had taken custody of, then you have to take accountability and be accountable for it. Okay, so this is how the heavens, this is how the psychology works, people. Nature is a law on its own, people. You cannot control nature. You have to learn to know your own nature. Okay, your nature is your wealth, people. That is the greatest wealth that you can ever have. And if that wealth is translated by the heavens to give you access to what is happening above, where you're supposed to upgrade your level of consciousness and your psychology and your knowledge, to be renewed, okay, for you to come in as a blank and to remodule a new concept of life, other than the life that you saw in a secular world, in a capitalist world, in a whichever world you found yourselves in. Okay, when we migrate in psychology, in spirituality, in going back to your original authentic selves as what you came into this earth, then you have to find the wisdom of your forefathers. Okay, because that is where you came from, people. Okay, you can only give account to those who has passed by you and you have passed by them, and according to Allah, they have completed their mission, which means you were given what you needed to get. You and I went and what fraudulently imported a foreign culture onto your children. What you never got, you wanted to give the next generation, and you destroyed them. If you destroy others, you will be destroyed in the process. Okay? Julle voorvaders het nie creditcards gehad nie, julle kinders lewe in dit. As dit kom by die tyd van die maand, dan het hulle niks other option but om vir die God van die Shaitan te vra vir help, because die ander God is sat. We kill that God. Okay? Your religious fraternities, all of them, okay, they have created a false God and they have given him credit abilities. Okay. Now that you are going to the digital currency, which many of us have no understanding what is happening here, okay, because basically when you're in Jahannam, you're lost, guys. But if you know where you are needed to go to, where you're supposed to be at this time above, you live above, you don't live below. You were supposed to leave below and get above water so that you can see what is happening and not stay drowned. Okay? Now, currently, the currency is changed because the sea has changed and that is where the current is. So we are in that current, currently. Okay? Now, as the adversary, the president of your country, the president that you claim is the president of the world, the one that does the work on behalf of God, Allah, okay, that went and saved the Saudis and the Arabs, okay, and those, it's just a game. People, we don't take it serious because you have to understand the game. It's not emotional. It's just built on intelligence, on wit, okay? So while you are being distracted by wars, okay, they plant it. They plant the war so that you cannot ascend to your next level and you remain stuck in that, old way of thinking, that old God that you yourself have closed the doors upon, where you're not supposed to have access to your better self, your higher self, to your ruh self, to your intellectual self, okay? Where you will know that there is not a time that is governing. It's timeless zones, people. It's a binary system, okay? You have to migrate to that next parallel, the loop, the loop of faith that you have to understand how to navigate it. So this is where, if you speak about death, like you people as a civilization, at us as a civilization, you're always thinking about what is going to happen when I leave here. It's because you are currently dead. That's why you don't know. You can only believe. And it's going to cost you because you were supposed to know by now. There are those who know, because they are believers. They are not Muslims. They are believers, people. Your Islam has been manipulated here. You are making haram halal, what Allah has made haram, and haram, what Allah has made halal. Most of your homes are filled with riba. It's built on riba. Your cars are driving on riba. Your mosques are operating on riba. What more do you want? What more poison do you want to give the children? It's over. Your game is over on earth. You have to find your new script, your new narrative. Your problem is not outside. You want to save the world outside because that God failed you. Okay? You cannot get inside what you are now forging in life as a collective. As how your children are seeing. We are seeing the story for what it is. You cannot come in. You are barred from inside. You cannot understand what you've done to deserve the expulsion and to be in the Guatemala prisons and be put on military tribunal. You don't know why you have to go through there as a father, as a mother, as a grandmother. Why are you being exempted? Why are you given this hard task? Why are you given to see your children die outside of you? Because all of us are parents of children, but why are we being left so helpless? Because we did it to our own child inside of us. That's what we killed here. That's the ruh. That's the angel we killed. That is the yatim that we misplaced. That is how the ego had misguided us here. Okay? So whatever you're seeing on outside is only because of your survival systems on the inside. You were not allowed. Allah did not give you entry. to understand your book of life. Okay, so this is suffering. This is a painful process that you have to. All of us have to go. All of us are contaminated here. Okay, the life is only within. Okay, and the truth, you alone know it. Nobody can teach you your truth because everything was given to you. As above, so below. It all has unfolded already. What is happening now is how your adversary is just trying to make you believe that he knows exactly what Allah is unfolding, because it's a spiritual war, people. So your Donald Trump and your Elon Musk and your Ramaphosa's and your Arabs are all trying to give you a false story of what God is telling them, but that is to keep you in the nets. They caught you in the nets, in the Sabbath. Okay, that was the 4 month, the Arba'ata Ashhur, minhum Arba'atun Hurum. Okay, your religions, your narrative of your religions is not going to, it's a lie. It's become a liar. Okay, it's not going to work, people. It's not going to work, unfortunately. I must tell you the truth. You have been substituted as a ummah. You have been replaced. When Muhammad comes, a new body of memory is activated, and the old dead cells is removed. That is Muhammad. You went and I went and found a man, people. Goed, ons wag elke dag vir 'n man. Hy goes wag vir 'n man. Hy wag vir 'n man. Hy fall in love met 'n man. Why are you making man more important than Allah? Why must Allah depend on a man like a Jesus, like a Moses? Why can't you just look at it as mythologies that you have to embody in your physiological ascension, where the months of the year is no longer the 12 months, it is the 12 gates. Inna iddata shuhuri inda Allahi ithna asharata shahran fi kitabillah. This is the new version. It's a new version of how you must understand yourself, because your children came in when you went out in COVID. You left. You were ditched. We were sunken in COVID. We didn't know. We didn't expect it. But the children came in, and now they don't see the 12 months as what we see it. No, it's their formula of how they will be assessed in climbing the ladder of consciousness for them to reach the 12th strand of completion. It's 5, 5, and 2. Okay? We soul tribes knows these things, people. Wallahi, it's not in religion, it's in the organic practices of the wisdom of your ancestors. They must give it to you. You cannot find it in Makkah. You cannot find it in Medina. You must find it in the real Medina, the Medina above. That's the Medina An-Nur. That's the Baytun Nur. That's where wisdom resides. But not anybody can enter that. Okay? So they're always going to give you a false narrative, be it the religionists or be it the presidents, because the religions support the governments, and the government support, they are just doing window dressing. As Allah say, you know what, you're corrupt. But believe you me, when the government gives you 900,000, you will eat from it, because hand wasi ana hand. So that is how contaminated the pool was, that the God, the universe, had to destroy that truth which was contaminated. Okay, that theory, because it's only a dhann. Wa inna dhanna la yughni min al-haqqi shay'a. So at this moment in time, a new script is being prepared for the new children, people. Okay, where imagine if you don't have a child that is making dua for you because you were the cause of your own destruction, for you to be left behind in a fabricated riba world. You didn't, sy het niks gesê daarvan nie, man. Sy het dit ge-accept soos het is. Toe kon Allah nou, to say, kyk guys, I'm having a decentralized system. I'm going into the blockchain. I'm doing an artificial module of anything that you need to do is, and you can have your own cryptocurrency. You can have it if you understand who you are, if you know what is currency, if you understand the energy spin. Allah gave us this. Yani, this was the wa'd. Why do you think Allah speaks about the promise? What promise is it? What your adversary is doing now is the promise that he is wrapping up in a false gift that you're going to suffer for. You're going to pay for that gift. It was supposed to be free if you knew who you were. It was from the heavens. It's the Ma'idah. يعني لأولنا ولآخرها. It came down. Your God sent it into this earth. He made it available for the mustada'afina min al-rijali wal nisa'i. He made it accessible. But you had to do your homework. You had to get out of the old house. You had to get home. You had to find your path. You had to understand yani, your mission. That's why you are here. For those who have forgotten their mission, they went and sold God. Yani, those religionists, those who yani, they went, unfortunately, people went to fall in love with them because of what? Because of the insecurities inside of them. They themselves didn't find God. So they have to click together for those of them that sunk. That's what the reality entails here. It's not condemnation, people. It's truth. You must understand the truth. It's not my property. It's not your property. It's what needs to be spelled so that the next generations are not going to be compromised in this entire exchange. That's why they have the X. That's why the Elon Musk, because they are all busy and spelling you as the magician spells you. And because the language is foreign to you, the English language which you gave your children, they use the very codes to spell you into these deep spells, these deep sentences, lifeline sentences, okay? The ruh lives inside of our bodies, okay? The ruh is uncontaminated. It's the body that is contaminated. It's the brains that was fed by the wrong adversary, by the wrong imagery, okay? Thinking that he will take control of your brains, of your education, of your body, of your food, and that is how he controlled your money. Because those who gives you money are those who provides the food in the supermarkets, and that money just goes back to them. Okay, if they don't control your food, then they don't control your lives. Okay, so most of us, unfortunately, in earth has forfeited our sanctuary and our innocence of our body. Okay, we need tablets at this moment in our lives. Like, if you are 40 years old already, you need tablets. Those of us, our parents, like 84 years old, they don't need anything anymore because they lived natural lives, people. Nobody was supposed to get sick. Ons het ons self siek gemaak. Allah het nie 'n vrotkar gemaak nie. Die ding is goed genoeg if you take care of it from the moment you are given the assignment. Okay? It works for you. Your body is the most sacred weapon on earth. Okay? If you must understand how Allah made it, and if you must really know the secrets of it, then you can rule the world. Wallahi. But because we neglected it, we abused it, we did with it whatever we wanted to do with it. Ons het gedink as ons body, not knowing that it was a vehicle, man. It was something where it's supposed to serve you because it has a lot. Everything about your body is the magic of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything about it. It's a brilliant piece of work. Okay, if you know how to steer her. Okay, you cannot overfeed her. You must make sure she fasts enough. You must make sure that the brain cells are all the time renewed. You must make sure that the blood vessels are all the time in a motion. You must make sure everything must work accordingly, people. That's how this earth works. Your earth is your body. You feel the earth in your body, and if it is fertile, then you feel the mother earth. Okay, the mother earth is alive. She never dies. That's the Yahya. That's the Maryam. That's the connection with the great universal mothers. Okay, that's ruh. Now you're speaking ruh. That's ruh. You all have ruh. But you cannot seem to enter into that ambit or orbit because of your low toxicity. How you've been taxation and the toxicity that came into your lives, into your religions, into your way your formulas of eating. So let's just get to the next stage. Now, what we as the new pioneers, as pioneers of the soul tribes, we come in, we clean up house, we clean up the house, okay, clean the psychology of the new age people, identify with the authentic tribes in the land. I richte members. We have to bring them in the spotlight, okay? Highlight those people, highlight their children, highlight their lifestyles, because they were the heroes of the last age. They made it. Okay, they did not lose the identity of their ancestors. Okay, they did not become English wise. They did not become another civilization. Hulle het nog gebly wie hulle is. Hulle pass die exams. Hulle gaan oorbroes. Maar maar ek moet vir julle die waarheid sê, hulle het oorgegaan. Hulle het oorgegaan. Okay. Now their lifestyle was now obviously they had been impacted by many invasions, okay, which we allowed. And we at the same time kyk ons mos af op hulle, right? Ons mense kyk af op mekaar. Now what happens now is, because it's a digital decentralized quantum physics system that is coming into the human psychology now, which most of us don't understand, because that's why you'll say that, oh, die vrou is mal, die man is mal, because you didn't educate yourself in the process, okay? Now, a new lifestyle gets placed in, and all the problems that you had, like the English words, has to be replaced again with the authentic words of the ancestors. Dai tramakasi, dai kanala, dai lamba, dai gilab. It's all words that has important effect on your rhythms, people. Julle verstaan nie, you don't understand a word that you're saying. You only think that people understand, but it's energy and it has echo. And most of the echo on your language, on your tongue, is actually spelled against you, because you have no understanding what that sound means. It's not sound minds, it's sound tongues, because the tongue can feel whether it's halal that is passing, it's sweet or unsweet. Ons tong kan nie fully, because as ons moedertongie is 'n foreign tong, okay? Nou van wanneer kan sy 'n foreign tong eet? Sy gaan mos uit 'n foreign tong byt. Okay? Nou, die is die goedes daarvoor toe se voorvaders vir ons gegee tong om te eet, laat ons kan voel wat is 'n soet tong. Okay? En wat hier in ons land is, dan weet ons wat is ons, hoe moet ons 'n tong klap. Right? It's all wisdom, deep wisdom. Yu'til hikmata man yasha wa man yu'tal hikmata faqad utiya khairan kathira. You don't need money here in this age. You don't need you don't need insecurities on the outside. You people, we need wisdom here, guys. We went and secured ourselves with lots of money and lots of cars and lots of nice things. This is among innovations. It's all imitations. Okay, because you don't have wisdom, you reinforce the external to bring security to a fabricated reality, and that's where you are now sinking deeper and deeper into the social media. Okay, social media, people. TikTok in the Quran is the hudhud. Allah speaks about it. I scroll. Okay, you got nothing better to do. Julle is in a world. There's a world that don't exist, but you give life to it. That is the hudhud. That is TikTok. Hudhud. Okay. Then Ya'juj and Ma'juj is your social media. You are living in something that don't exist, but you're giving it life. There's no life in that, people. People showing each other's lives. Where's the privacy? After you get behind your walls, that's your life. That's your sacred space. But when you want to sell it for a price and when you want to compete, then you are in the Ya'juj and the Ma'juj, and your spiritual leaders has no idea because they are fully participant in it. Okay? It's a crazy situation that you guys are in because you've been substituted as a civilization, as a pioneers of once upon a time your ancestors held the baton, gave it to you, you forfeited it, and now another generation will have to remodule the way of doing things, upgrade the cultural deities, upgrade the lifestyle, bring in new language phenomena. This is what AI is going to do. Okay, that is why we're living in this age. Everything of your past is AI now. All your belief systems has been replaced with artificial intelligence because you forfeit, I forfeit my divine intelligence in the process. This is where we are for real, guys. Okay. What we are very proud of is that we found the original tribes still here after thousands of years in the land. They still had this same kachikachis en karikkeltjies en die moulutjies en die rattipies. Hulle is nog hier, man. Hulle voel dit nog. Hulle vibrate dit nog. Hulle het nie Engeland toe gegaan nie. Hulle het nie Amerika toe gegaan nie. You hate America, but you live American lives. You wear American clothes. You drive American cars. You do everything American, but they are the very people that is against the people who you want to save. Don't you think it's time that you realize that you have killed yourself in this process on earth? You have killed your ruh. You have substituted your once upon a time ancestral God to a new God. And that's the shirk that you came and done in earth. Okay? For you to realize that you're going back to God when you die, I think it's by time you realize that you did, and then when you did, you must still come back to life again. Okay? On the front of the soul tribes, brothers and sisters, we are just waiting for the green light now. Okay? Because we cannot help everybody in this process. We can only dedicate for those who Allah has made survivors and who Allah has rescued. Het gaan nie hier met die gesig nie. Het gaan nie vir wie ek ken nie. Ek het niks hand in die proses nie. It's just om to fulfill the purpose, fulfill the mission, the path. Okay? And ensure that the children finds a clear path out of the mess that we had created them in the riba homes. Okay? It gave them special concession on the Sharia, which we control. Okay? There is alternatives that Allah has made available, and we have opted for that as the next servants of this tribe. We opted for the decentralized system. We opted for our own currency. We opted for our own operational systems. We are natural. We are firstborn nation, so why can't we? It's our right. It's our inheritance. When we qualify for it, you receive it. Okay? The kuffar wants to take it. The mushrikeen wants to also find it. But most of us follow their narrative. We believe in them. That's why they give us life. Their gods give us life, not Allah. They control even the religious blocks as well. You all know the truth. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, as amper buka tyd en ons gaan lekker vanaand baie lekker buka het inshallah ta'ala, en inshallah, as what Allah has planned will unfold, mashallah, in the month of Muharram. It is the Muharram gate. This is, you are in Arafat now. Those who has qualified will know what it is that they have to find in this time. They have to find the wisdom. You need wisdom, people. Wisdom is from your ancestors. They can give you the wisdom. Nobody else can give you wisdom. If you are authentic in your body, your ancestors will be your genes, your cellular, your blood. You don't need to do a DNA test. Your DNA is your rhythms. Your the whites had wit, okay, and they fed you with wheat, okay, and that's how you eat today, and that's why you always believe that the white people are better than you because you ate them. That's the shirk, because how did Allah make white better than black? Allah didn't make colors. Allah made hearts. That's what Allah created. Human beings, Allah can't create something which is which falls by the side, that's temporal. Hoe kan Allah maak iets wat temporal? Allah must make something that is permanent. Now what did Allah Ta'ala create? The heart of the mother. That's permanent. If you get access to that heart, you've got access to the Bayt of Allah. That's the Baytul Nur. That is where you'll find everlasting life. That's Baytullah. not somewhere where you have to pay and still doubt whether you were finding the wisdom. You don't go on Arafat for forgiveness. You go there in order to what? To find the light, to find the wisdom, to find the keys, to find the path, to find the blueprint, to activate. That's what we do as souls. That's why we know where we are and we know where the others are as well. Not to condemn anybody, but so that you can understand that we in this age understand exactly the game, and where you had played the game yani, in the past, you are sitting yani, as the losers in the process. Yani, the Jahannam seems to be the only best yani, escape. Okay? So may Allah Ta'ala accept our fasting today for the sake yani, of the ancestors where we come from. And may Allah Ta'ala grant that the tribe, the soul tribe, gets the full yani, custody of the tribe children, and that they may give them the insight that activates their self-knowledge. We need them to know who they are before somebody tells them who they are not. Okay? Once they know who they are, when they activate their self-knowledge, nobody can play around with their minds like our minds will play around with. Because then they have the path as to how to activate the sacred masjid, which is their body. Okay? This is the true story. This is what the Quran is telling us. Okay? So if you want to understand history, then that history don't exist because nobody lived there. That's the past. If you want to activate memory, your memory lives in the future, not in the past. The past can't come back. So your memory, فَذَكِّرْ وَذَكِّرْ يعني سَنُقْرِئُكَ فَلَا تَنْسَى إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهِ. You must now ascertain how much of your authenticity you can reclaim so that it can remind you what lies ahead. When must Muhammad come? Muhammad is not dead. Muhammad must still come into your ascension so that you find the 12 steps, okay, into the cosmic transformational medium, okay? It's a period that goes for 950 years, Yom Arafah. The day is long, the years goes very quick. That's why your past is almost as if it was in the blink of an eye. The day is long, but the years are like the shortest period of your life. So may Allah prepare you for this beautiful moment and make dua for your children, that your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, that they may make it into this house of the Baytul Nur, inshallah. May Allah bless you all, and may Allah Ta'ala grant our mothers and our fathers the nur of the love of the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Shukran jazilan, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
يا مصطفى كل شيء